Hello students, and welcome back to another English lesson. We are continuing our unit, our first unit caught on camera, but today we will focus on some grammar, specifically on present tense contrast. We will be focusing on present simple and present continuous. I know many of you have already met with present simple and present continuous many times in your elementary schools, and I'm sure in first grade of high school. But today we will focus on different types of context that you might not have identified before that warrant the use of present simple or present continuous. Now, first we have a little exercise. Now, I know that some of the words in my example are underlined, but let me warn you, a lot of the words underlined here with this pencil are not correct for our exercise today. And this is why I used this specific screenshot, because it will show us some mistakes that you might make. But let it be known that it will not help you for your analysis right now, so you need to do the analysis yourselves. What I need you to do is take two different pencils or two different colored pencils and underline all the instances of present simple and all the instances of present continuous in the text. You have the text in your books, so you can do it in your books as well. You might have already done it, or you can try to do it just by observing this presentation. Now, be mindful of gerunds and of modal verbs, as they are not present continuous nor present simple. So be careful not to get swayed by modal verbs or by gerunds. Here is our checked version. So the text goes, "Hey Zoe, you're always using the computer when I need it. It's so annoying." Now first, let's look at the two mistakes here. The first one is annoying. Now we know that the word annoying is not a verb. It's an adjective, so it does not belong here. That's straight up not correct. But need is a verb, but it's neither present simple nor present continuous, because need is a modal verb, and like all the other modal verbs, the verb need doesn't or can't be put into present simple or present continuous, much like must, should, can, can't, and so on. They are always the same. They do not get put into any tense. Now let's see the one tense that we do have, and that's are using. This is our first present continuous, first example of present continuous, and you can see that it's right off the bat an unusual one, because here you have the word always, and you were always taught in elementary school and onwards that words such as always, never, often, usually, they always appear with present simple, because they describe habits or they describe things that happen over and over again. But this is our little exception, and this exception is used when you want to express annoyance at somebody's behavior. And this annoyance is coupled with the word always. So you would have, you're always using the computer when I need it. It means that the person speaking is very annoyed that the other person is using the computer when they need it. So in this specific case, present continuous should be used, and it's used to express how frustrated the person talking is. And then we have I'm chatting with Ella. This is our general use of present continuous, thing that I'm doing right now. We have the verb are here, but it's an auxiliary verb. So it's not put in either present simple nor present continuous. So we are not using it. We have, oh, hi, Ella. I'm doing my science homework. Again, am doing. Very similar context to I'm chatting. We have the word need underlined, which is again wrong, much like this one, because it is a modal verb. But to look up is our present simple tense. And we use present simple here precisely because it's coupled with a modal verb. This is how it manifests. Ask Ella. She always comes top of the class. And here we have a different always. Here we have an always that is focused on how often something is happening. So this is a habit, and this is why we are using present simple with this always and not with this always. Okay, what about this? At what temperature does oxygen change from a gas to a liquid? Does change or changes, if it wasn't a question, is in present simple because this is a fact. So the temperature at which oxygen changes from a gas to a liquid is always the same. So things that are plain facts about the world are always in present simple. We have, hey Ella, do you fancy seeing Inception at the cinema tonight? Do you fancy is similar to do you want? So do you want to see Inception? And this is of course simple. What time does it start? Or if it wasn't a question, we would have something along the lines of it starts at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. and so on. I'm meeting Joe at 6:45. Now this is another use of present continuous. We use present continuous this way when we want to talk about our immediate plans. So something that we will do in the future, but this future is coming very fast. It will be something that will happen in a few hours or tomorrow or in 2 or 3 days. Now I love science fiction films. This is just a preference or a fact about yourself, and it is of course in present simple. Can I come? Now this one is the word can as much as can't, so just like can't is a modal verb, which means it shouldn't be underlined here. So can and can't are modal verbs and they do not go into simple or continuous. Now, try to read and think about this chart and try to fill in the gaps according to the exercise that we just went through. Do we use present simple or continuous? So do we use present simple or continuous for habits and routines, for something happening now or about now, for describing annoying behavior with always, for a permanent situation or fact, for arrangements in the future, or for timetables and schedules, or schedules if you want to pronounce it differently. Both are fine. Now, as we can see, we use simple for habits and routines, of course. I go to school every day. Continuous for something happening now or about now. So something that's currently happening or in a very, very close future. Continuous for describing annoying behavior with always, as we have mentioned. So you're always using the computer when I need it. Simple for a permanent situation or a fact. So a fact of life. Continuous for arrangements in the future. And simple for timetables and schedules. A good example of a timetable or schedule is the plane leaves at 5 o'clock. So we are talking about a future event, but we use present simple because we are talking about a scheduled flight or a scheduled train leaving. Now, when we're trying to differentiate between simple and continuous, we need to pay attention to dynamic verbs and state verbs. Dynamic verbs describe actions, and they can be used in the simple or continuous forms. So, for instance, run. I run every day, but I am running currently. While state verbs describe states or situations, they don't describe actions. And they are not usually used in continuous tenses. They are usually used in simple tenses, although of course there are exceptions to this. Even though these exceptions need the right context for you to use these these verbs in present continuous. More often they will be put in simple, and you will be overall more correct if you put them in simple. So verbs such as believe, belong, forget, hate, know, like, love, mean, need, prefer, remember, understand, or want. Even though, of course, in our spoken language, you can see some of these appear in continuous. For instance, if you're watching an interview with a singer and they ask the singer, what kind of music do you like right now? They will maybe say, oh, I'm liking Ariana Grande now, but later I might not. This is still not correct, although sometimes you might hear it. So it's sometimes used in spoken English, but not so much in written English. One other verb that you might also find in continuous is forget. For instance, if someone says, I keep forgetting to buy coffee, which means that this is almost almost a habit of theirs that they forget every time, even though in this case we have the verb keep in front of forgetting, which makes this process possible. Otherwise we cannot say I am forgetting this. We can only say I forgot. Now let's complete this dialogue together. So we have Ella and Zoe talking. We need to complete the dialogue using either present simple or present continuous. So we can't use past tense here, even though some of these can work with past tense, but or with future tense even, with will. But here we must limit ourselves to present simple and present continuous. So let's work through the text together. Ella asks, "Who are you phoning?" Because Zoe is on the phone right now, so we will use present continuous. Zoe says she is phoning Joe. The film starts in 5 minutes because this is a timetable event. As is the train leaves, the plane takes off. She never arrives on time. This is a habit of Joe's, that she never arrives. It happened many times that she was late, which is why we put this in simple. Hi, Joe. Are you coming to see the film? Now here we have present continuous because we are talking about a close future. She's asking the question about her future plans, but it's still talking about future plans, close future plans. Okay, she is just getting off the bus. As we remember, if we have words such as just, at the moment, currently, we know that it's present continuous because we know that it's happening at this exact moment. Ella says, great. What are you doing after the film? Now this is similar to are you coming to see the film? It's a question about near future plans. We are going for a pizza, again, plans in the near future. Do you want to join us? Plain simple. Present simple question. And we can't say do you wanting to join us, because want is a state verb, which means that it has to be in present simple or in simple in general. Yes, I love pizza. This is just a general statement about her preferences. But the last bus home leaves at 10:30. Again, this is a timetable event. 10:30. Hi, Zoe. Hi, Ella. What are you doing here, Max? So Zoe is clearly surprised that Max is here. It's a spur of the moment question, and this is why it's in continuous. I'm going to see the film. I am waiting for Sam. So he's answering what he is currently doing. So he is talking about what he is doing at that exact moment, and this is why we use continuous. Now that we went through some rules about when to use present continuous and when to use present simple, I am leaving you with 4 extra exercises. 3 exercises are concerned with the difference between present simple and present continuous, or with examples such as these that you will have to fill. And the last exercise is concerned, as you can see, with stative verbs. You have to recognize them in order to finish the exercise. Good luck with your assignments and see you next time.